Okay, from Crafty's recent YouTube video, he had some challenges that he presented to certain YouTubers. And I guess it's kind of just going to be a reaction video, but he had one challenge, which I can quickly demonstrate here, where he has... don't actually know how to disable that. So any attempt there would update it. Okay, wait. The challenge was extend a piston, a singular piston, have it stay extended, and not power any others. In Bedrock Edition, this is obviously trivial, but in Java Edition, you have QC, which would power the lower piston, so it makes it a lot more difficult. Now, to first set this up, I'm pretty sure this is not the solution, because he actually showed the piston extending. But just to show, first of all, if you power just one piston, the bottom one will come with it, because that's getting QC powered and updated through the middle piston. If we power the piston above, we're not powering the bottom piston anymore, but now we power the top one. And if, just thinking here, if we stop this piston from extending, we can also get this bottom piston to extend with QC. Send the update through the note block now, and that'll make that piston extend without the bottom piston extending. But I want to just first show this method. So the bottom piston... Oh, no, I can't even do that. Wait, so if I extend this, the bottom piston doesn't extend. Oh. I could do a dust redirect. Can I do that manually, or do I need a piston? Huh. Nope, need a piston. Oh yeah, that's great. Sir, please go away. Okay, let's try it again. Power this piston. Unpower it. Nah, I'd have to like update suppress, because I need to get this block out of here. Either way, let's do it how... My guess is that we're doing something fancy. Because we need it to not power the bottom piston. So right now this does. No, I'm losing my train of thought. What the? Okay. So right now, if I update this piston, then both will extend. And if I just update the bottom one, both will still retract. But if we do that again, watch this be like horribly overcomplicated to what he does. to power this piston. Okay. So it's being QC powered. Now, I feel like it's zero ticks, but zero ticks you can't hold the signal on. Unless it's like a perfectly timed repowering after a zero tick. But that's not what it looked like. I'm gonna have to give up here in a second. Because any type of signal I send into here will power the pistons. I don't think he actually used update suppression. Ah! That was probably loud, sorry. Okay. Right. So if I zero tick the top, I can transition it without updating the bottom piston. Okay, should I explain it? Because I don't think everyone would have followed that. You can power these two. But when I take power away, if I want to retract the bottom piston, it's just because I need to power this piston and have it not update the bottom one. So that means this piston has to be extended already so it doesn't give an update when it's powered. And once it is powered and power is there, then turning off the power from the one above will not update the lower one. So is it just a zero tick on the top and then a held signal lower? What does this need to be minimized? I don't know if I can make the piston above not fire. Maybe they literally just did a repowering. What was that classic zero tick gen? Yeah, so of course that would work, but Not quite, because 0 ticks starts the retraction instantly. Okay. So if we make these direct wires, to not get an update, the bottom piston has to extend afterwards and be powered through a block so the repeater doesn't update the bottom. First, the top two need to update. We can give an observer. Observer first, then the repeater. Sure, through a block, doesn't matter. Okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, part 2, we have a lamp with updating capabilities, I guess. Oops. Okay, part 2, we have a lamp that detects an arrow collision. I'll just do it here. My first thought... Do I not have... There. Interesting. My first thought was string, and you just have a bud on the note block using dust redirection, as I showed earlier. So lamp off. What the? Okay. Signal is now on. Make it power the lamp without updating it, because we curved the dust away. Moving the detector rail back meant that the dust was no longer pointing this way, but now it's pointing into the block. So the dust does power the bulb, but moving the detector rail does not update the bulb. And there's string here, so now if I toss an item in front of it, that would trigger. Arrow would do the same thing. Main issue that contradicts first is that this is the bottom half of the block, not the top half. And his design has a stair here pushing the arrow off the front. So that would break, yeah, that would break the string, even if it was there. The string's on the bottom half of the block, so he has it on the top half, so that clearly wouldn't be correct. Either way. I was thinking something minecart. don't know how I would detect the minecart to be there, though. Okay, yeah, wooden would detect that. Okay. I guess I need a bow then. Yeah, I can't say I have any clue what worked on this one. He said no skulk. I mean, you could have a boat. Sure, let's put a boat. But then the arrow disappears. And it's not a crossbow, it doesn't pierce the boat. I'll probably need that later anyways. Boat. Yep, I got no clue on this one.
This is one of the easier solutions, and also one of the oldest redstone tricks in the book, and has been used in some early redstone minigames from people like Effie Disco. And it works by just using one block, a wooden pressure plate.
Really? Okay, we're back on the piston one again. I wasn't sure when it would come up. The previous one with the doors, I kind of assumed it was a clock, but didn't really... Yeah, wasn't able to flesh it out, kind of like Matt Batwings. But for this one, this is really close. But if you notice when he does it, you don't see the piston above moving at all. So I want to spend one more minute on it and see if I can figure that out. Yeah, I don't have a clue. No, not giving up that quickly. When can I switch? Because that's basically the question. Because if I switch too early, then the bottom piston will extend. Can I QC? There's no point in QCing it if I need that. Because to get the extension animation to happen instantly, I can use a zero tick. But I have to power that back on also instantly. So I need a zero tick chain to go on, off, and then back on. I don't want to do that. Fine. Okay. Simple zero tick chain. Okay, we've got our piston update order. First is to turn on the signal. Okay. Next is to turn off the signal. Okay. Then we want to turn the signal back on again. Do I just need 3? Is that it? I think I need to build this closer. um, oh, no way. No way. Hell yeah. Oh, maniacal laughter. Yes. Evil magic. Okay. Yeah, because when you zero tick a piston on with low enough update delay, I don't know the exact words, Elmango has great old videos on it, you don't update the bottom piston if the pulse is like fast enough or of a certain type. And the zero tick means like it turns on and then off in that same tick. What that means for a piston is that it instantly extends and then starts the retraction phase. So the extension is finished. And is the different phases that update the pistons around it. So when you have a piston here, it won't update. Yeah. Let's turn this back off. When you have a piston retracted, it won't update, but when you power it to extend, it will send an update as it starts extending and when it finishes extending, kind of roughly. But then, since the zero tick finished the extension phase, it won't send out any updates. And then when we power it on again, that's cool. Why'd I just do that and stop mid-sentence? When you power it on again, it's already extended, so there's no reason for it to send out more updates because it's not really changing anything. That is so cool, though. I wonder how he wired that up. But I can definitely say I got that. I do like this demo a lot more than Crafty's demo, though. Because like it's literally in stages. The first one literally turns it on because you're not cutting the rail anymore. The second one turns it off because you remove the power source. And the third one turns it back on because you stop cutting off this later power source. And all this does is this directly powers the piston. This buds the second two, and they get their updates from the previous piston in line. So they're forced to update in that order. Does it have to be through a block? I think so. If I move these up. If I made this glass. Yeah. Yep. Okay, this next one here, we have a dispenser, which the players on screen showed it to be empty, turning on and off a candle using flint and steel and water, it says, with the table around, so yeah, no visible hoppers, droppers on the top, everything below. For doing the stuff below, pretty sure you just have a dropper going into the dispenser from below. I mean, you kind of have to. There's no other up. Nothing else that can move items upward into a container. And then probably just a hopper minecart here. But let's see, the table does have solid blocks on the edges, at least in that design. So I can put a dropper there. And a hopper here. Or here. Bruh. Double pulse for the water bucket, single pulse for the flint and steel. Oh shoot, double pulse for the water bucket, so I can't just make it instant. Okay, well then I might as well just push this up. JK, you can't push immovable blocks. Yeah, it's fine. Fall into the void. See if I care. But this motion would have to be instant. Yeah, well, this is definitely difficult. but it's gotta be just an embedded hopper minecart. But the problem is you can't embed it directly. Because you need the bucket stay back in there to pick up the water. Not sure I feel like spending this much time on it. Okay, I don't know how many of these I'm gonna do, but I'll do this one. Well, first of all, the last one, yeah, was basically correct. Yeah, just gotta have a hopper minecart to pull it. I mean, it was kind of like that is the game mechanics required to do that. The question was like, how did he lock him in this specific manner? How did he power him in this specific manner? But yeah, it was definitely required to have a dropper underneath, the hopper cart pulling it out, and hopper droppers cycling the items. Yeah, I don't really know what to say there. Here we go. The next one was a thin piston door. I guess I need to set up a wall somewhere. Nah, I like the idea of putting it here. And no, I don't use Axiom. Where do I want the hole? It's probably painful to watch. I don't know why I'm doing it this way, but okay. Pistons. Reference hole. Reference block. So he had these as solid blocks. Because the easiest option would be to have like some signals down here with dust and then put like target block. But he had it as a solid block. I mean, you could do like locked repeaters? No. Redirected dust. I feel like dust is like the only way to do it. Because that can power the block and be powered from the side. Is there literally any other way to do it than dust? Observers give a pulse. Like you can move an observer, but that only pulses it. Should I even show that? There you go. It pulses it. Oh. I think he did use a pulse. Wait a second.
crazy. What do you have, like a line of redstone? Then, too, this whole thing is only. But that's cool. What are you talking about?
Hold on.
Whoa, that's cool. Wait, that's kind of thin, too. This whole thing is only.
Yep, they're pushing observers. Almost like 99% guaranteed that they're pushing observers. Okay, for simplicity though, just to beat his challenge.
It's definitely more than a line of.
This is the specific challenge he wants. It definitely would be easier with like more pistons at the bottom, but you know what? Let's do another block, andesite. Andesite's a fun block. That should be fine. Then like put a lever up here somewhere. I need to power it through a block, so if I use more dust, it'll redirect it away from that wall. Like that. That's not good. So I need to power all these through a block or a torch above. And this is the hallway. Oh, that is hard to see. I could just put a torch here and call it a day. I want it to be a correct direction though, so we'll do that. Then what, like a torch here? Is that thin enough? I don't know if that's thin enough. I'm probably going to say that's good enough. I'll try one other method on this side. We could use a torch. And a torch underneath. But then you'd need like dust here, and that's like a toggle. Yep, that's bigger. It does work. And if you wanted it smaller, you could do all these pistons like through a shifting wall. So there's definitely ways to do this more compact with observers. I don't know how much I have to say on this one, but the fact that he says tower can be made of any pushable block, I think is a kind of significant giveaway. I did see a video on this trick using a tree farm a while back. I can't say I understood it enough to replicate it though. I could try, but I don't really think. I don't know if the tower had to be a specific height though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's not near 12. 1, 2, 3 maybe? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Also not near 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 11.
This is a real redstone contraption.
Maybe it's cheating to look at the bottom, but yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it did. I mean, I saw there it had to do with moving the block. So this changes the push length. Also, when it's moving, this piston can't push. Yeah, I don't know if I'm even bothered gonna say much on it, but it's a thing that tree farmers would know, maybe, if they're advanced. I was looking at 12 because I thought it had to be like right at push limit though. So I'm a little bit confused about that.
Ooh, magic.
Being used. So how does this work?
I could try. Because I mean, like, you could obviously detect when a piston pushes. With an observer or something. But this doesn't actually push. So it has to do with update orders to, like, read the attempted push and then pull the block out of the way. So it doesn't actually push of some sort. Not my expertise. So I don't know why I'm still talking about it.
On the bottom of the tower, we have a block swapper on a redstone clock with one piston pushing an observer up and down. Once there are more than 12 blocks on top of this swapper, this upwards piston has too many blocks and stops extending.
So it was 12. His demonstration video didn't have not 12 blocks. I guess he was assuming it'd be that far under the ground. But yeah, because when you add a block, then it can't extend. And then you can just read from the extension. If the tower plus a block and another one is over 12, then it can't extend. But then if it's less than 12, shouldn't this extend?
bottom of the tower, we have a block swapper on a redstone clock with one piston pushing an observer up and down. Once there are more than 12 blocks on top of this swapper, this upwards piston has too many blocks and stops extending, retracting the observer, depowering these repeaters.
I guess I actually do have a guess. Players are processed client-side, where pigs and entities writing it's processed server-side, I'm pretty sure, so he probably has some redstone detection processing, trying to figure out in what phase the tripwire hook was triggered.
You better believe we're using sub-tick shenanigans again by using a hopper bud. Like the name implies, this is a hopper block update detector that uses a
Okay, that's a new one.
redstone dust to trick this hopper into staying on. And this thing alone can already tell the difference between a player and other entities. How? Well, let's go back to the tick loop and see what happens. Remember, this is a list of things
So I
that
was right.
does every single game tick. And the things on the list that we care about are block events, entities, tile entities, and player actions in that order. When a player activates the bud, the next phase is block events, which is our piston with the target block. This redirects the redstone dust into a cross, blocking the hopper, meaning it can't push the item into the dropper by the time it gets to tile entities. When a non-player activates the bud, tile entities are immediately after, so the hopper unlocks, sending its item. A whole game tick later, block events are finally processed, and then the piston relocks the hopper. And 4 game ticks later, the dropper spits the item back into the hopper, depowering the comparator.
Yeah, I don't know if I really need to say it. It's like still using subtick stuff because repeaters update before observers. So you could probably like split out the signal, have a repeater and observer on each, and then compare which one's first. Not sure exactly how, but yeah. I'm too lazy to wire it. Not something I use normally.
Once again, this is literally a one-block solution. It's a comparator. Due to the wonder of tile tick priority magic, you can't normally one-tick a comparator, unless a repeater's in front of it, except when you one-tick it with a repeater. Yeah, Minecraft is a little bit funky and strange, eh?
You know, can't help but notice you're naming some of these items.
I am naming these items.
Okay, I will put that as a brain fart. I knew that comparators detected 1 ticks differently from 2 ticks. Didn't know about the repeater trick, though. I knew a comparator with the repeater behind it would trigger on 1 ticks, but I didn't know repeater in front would disable that. Okay, yeah, I think this is honestly kind of known, but I might try and build something because I'm kind of curious. A couple things. Well, I'll just adjust this 2 seconds here. Bruh. So go here. Actually, just set block out here. That is terribly hard to see. No. Blackstone. Yeah, totally. Okay. First off, okay, I can't just do that, but bruh, I'm not doing well. Yeah, so he had carpet on and clearly a piston on the middle. he had it set up like this. So I mean, the bottom one's easy because he clearly had a piston in the middle. You just detect if the middle and any of the sides, or I guess if any two sides both extend at the same time. Then other than that, honestly, just like, he never said these couldn't be slabs. So there. Oh, that includes the middle. Interesting. And then this one, it's not included. Who cares about the middle? Make it a slider. There you go. Okay. Yeah, so you can read outputs out of all these pistons moving with, like, I don't know, comparators reading from a composter, or really whatever you want. But the rest of this is just subtraction and basic wiring. And that one's just both of those trigger. Well, he didn't have a break, so I didn't know when to pause this one, but yeah. All I was going to say was this, really. The sticky block can slide the block in the front, and then you can just slap pistons on either side of that sticky line if you make it longer. Piston in the back to slide the sticky line, and something powering the pistons from the bottom as you slide them to push and retract the respective blocks.
Pretty simple optical illusion that looks way more complicated.
Yeah, they explained the one with the arrows, so I don't know that I really need to go over that. Cubic Meter had a great video talking about that. Yeah, I feel like since I've gone this far, I kind of have to give my theory on the tripwire hooks. But given as that's not, again, my expertise, I can't say. He didn't show it not triggering when a tripwire was placed on a different side of a block. He did explode here, because that is one theory, that if you put the tripwire, these are all pointing away to where the tripwire hook could be on the other side of that wall. And, like, no one knows. Like, maybe this last tripwire hook is the only one that actually triggers it. Maybe all the other ones are just, like, meaningless. And he didn't blow up that section of the wall, so... he came really close to it.
Oh, look at that. Lamps still go off. But,
Wow, hi. Yeah.
I mean, that was like back in... was it Meta Milo's? One of the old YouTubers did a Redstone challenge map. And it had a tripwire hook bud on it. that I never understood. Tripwire hooks are weird. Because, like, they kind of have to scan linearly to find the other hook. Like, the game's code has to include some kind of linear scan mechanic. So if you abuse that and have something back there, like, I don't know that it has any vertical scan, though. Yeah, I got no clue. But yep, definitely very interesting challenge, very creative puzzles. Very funny how this was just to steal the arrows, though. So appropriate, but so funny.
Everything's covered in wool, so there's no chance of skulk sensors. No skulk sensors to be detected in this big glass box. All of these blocks.
Forgot to mention that I totally approve of the skulk sensor hate. Not that he hates skulk sensors, but I totally loved that they did not exist in this video at all. Just had to say that. Cool. Well, that was fun. Now I gotta actually edit that if I care. Will I? Won't I?